there's something odd about life because I work very hard and diligently and have for so many years on myself to strengthen myself and what have you. But there are these moments, and probably you've had them too, whether it's early in the morning, waking up in the middle of the night, or maybe late at night, whatever that time of day is for you, where worry can just seize you, where something just, I don't know, it's like a devil almost that just seizes you. And those who have a propensity for worry seem to live in that state of mind all the time. But it can attack me too. Being now in my 50s, I tell people this often. I said, it was one thing to turn 40. It's another thing to turn 50. I was talking to a car salesman the other day about that very thing, and he's in his 60s, and he goes, well, guess what, pal? It's another thing when you turn 60. For some reason, man, it's just everything gets constrained. It's like the world shrinks. And it's not necessarily the size of the world that shrinks. It's the time element. It just shrinks, and you realize you don't have a lot of flexibility. You can't keep just trying things. You've got to, really set your course and go for it. And so that can be frightening, man. And sometimes I'll have these moments where, again, I'll get woken up or whatever, and it's just like a demon of worry attacks, and you're like, oh my gosh, do I have the time? Am I all situated? Is this taken care of? What's going to happen here? And I'll go back to sleep and wake up, and it'll be all gone by itself. But if anything like that attacks me, and it was to keep me up or, attack me at another time in the day when I'm awake, I have my ways and means to dealing with these things. And of course, I'm relying upon the capital that I've built up in terms of self-improvement over the years. I'm relying upon the strength that I've already created. But you still got to have methods. You still have to have ways and means to overcome anxiousness, anxiety, and worry. These are all things that can attack us. But I think what often happens is we make the situation worse because we don't make any plans or we don't strive to get the upper hand on a particular situation that we might be contending with. And so that bothers us. Because at the very least, you can be facing something from which it is hard to escape worry. If you have a loved one that, or maybe yourself, who got a dire diagnosis about a cancer or, something severe, or did lose a long-standing job that you had and you do not have another option for employment. If that happens, yeah, man, you're going to worry, right? You are going to worry. But the issue is that you can reduce that worry to the degree that you take action, no matter what that action may be. And I think that's a big reason why people don't resolve the issues. The issue is when you are facing worry, the primary reason is because you don't have control. You feel like you don't have control. And I want you to just think about that for just a second, and you realize that's true. Why do we worry? We worry because we don't have control or feel like we don't have control. When you worry about your kids, it's because you feel like you don't have control, right? They're out of sight. They're not little anymore. You can't take care of them. When you have them and take care of them, are you worrying about them more? No, of course not, because you've got them. You can watch them. You're bathing them. You're tying their shoes. You are controlling all of the circumstances. So it's a lack of control that breeds our sense of worry. It's a lack of control that will breed or create that sense of worry. Therefore, to the degree that you can increase a sense of control, to that degree, you will minimize your worry. Now, the worry in and of itself is a sense of worry. Now, what is a sense of worry? It is something that you perceive. You perceive by your senses, right? Information comes in, vision, taste, smell, hear, these are our senses. Well, we have our psychological senses as well, right? So a sense of worry. It's only a sense, because your worry that you feel emotionally is not correspondent to what your circumstances actually are. That's why you can go to visit the doctor to have something checked out. You're worried sick. Your doctor looks at it and says, thus and such and thus and such. And he's not, or she are not worried about it. You're still worried about it. Why? It's the same circumstances. Well, the difference is that he or she has dealt with those circumstances in a multiple people and has seen them resolved. And so he can look at you, or she can look at you and say, it's not going to be a problem. Don't worry yourself. But he or she has the control. The doctor has the control. You don't have that control. So again, the worry is not correspondent to the circumstances. The worry is created, amplified, or reduced in our own mind. So it's our sense of worry. The information comes in from the negative circumstances, we interpret it, and we come to a conclusion about how to feel about it. So that sense of worry, that sense of concern or anxiety can be exaggerated, it can be amplified, it can be distorted, it can be skewed. But when it comes to then a sense of control, it's the same thing. It's a sense of control. I mean, the doctor can tell you it won't be a problem, but the doctor may be wrong, right? The doctor could be wrong, but the doctor has a better sense because the doctor has experience to go on. You may not have that experience. So even the control is a sense of control. But again, the issue is to tame your emotions so that you can contend with the situation. The issue is not which is the more accurate to reality. It's not an issue of whether your sense of worry or sense of control is more accurate to the truth, because we don't know how it's going to turn out. The issue is, how's it going to affect you now? And the fact that worry will cause more damage. So what we want to do is increase or up the sense of control while decreasing or minimizing that sense of worry. We'll talk more about this. Can you dig it? Hope you can. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.